Hi everyone, Deb here. Welcome to my collaboration called Jewelry Making Fun 2023. We post at noon Eastern on the 18th each month, and there will be a list of participants down below the video, so be sure to check them out after you watch me, of course. Or if you're coming here after watching them, thank you for coming over, and I do hope you like what you see. I went a little overboard this month because this month our theme, our colors are autumn colors, any combination, orange, yellow, red, green, brown in parentheses as examples. Our option challenge 1 is use gemstone beads, for example, jasper, agate, etc. There's an autumn jasper, but I didn't end up using that this time, even though I could. I'll explain that in a minute. Optional challenge 2, incorporate leaves, parentheses, leaf charms, leaves in resin, gemstone, leaf pendants, etc. Yeah, I haven't started with resin yet. I'm going to be soon. I probably had leaf charms, but I decided I have all these old bargain bead boxes. So this one was from October 21. Yeah, 21. And the only thing I could see that was out of it before was 2 toggle clasps because I wanted to use one. Anyway, it had a lot of, it says, it's called Taking Wing. It had feathers, not leaves. So I did something different. As temperatures cool, the autumn sky fills it with the beating wings of migratory flocks. That's true. Anyway, it includes feather and wing motifs, but it also has earth tones, reds and creams to brown, gold, and mauve, which is in the form of mookaite and sesame jasper, I believe. Yeah, and then they gave some crystals and things like that. I used almost all the mookaite. I have 6 millimeter, 1 10 millimeter left, and some chips left. And I do have one nugget, but it's not usable. They cut it wrong, and when they drilled the hole, it came through the back, so it's not a full thing. And then I do have yellow crystals. Anyway, you'll see. If you have that box, you might get inspired if you didn't already make things with it. But I made, I think 11 pieces. I'll have to count as we go. So the first thing I made was a necklace, of course. And I'm going to raise you up a little bit. This is what it looks like. These are from my stash. They're check glass turbine beads, and I've had them. I had 14 of them. I used all but 2, but I'll use them soon. In this topaz with gold ends color. I had them from Fusion Beads back when they had their website, and I think I probably got them in like 2013. I know they still have turbine beads around, but I don't know if they have them in this larger size. I've gotten some smaller ones recently. I added from my own stash these poppy jasper leaves. There's my leaves. I didn't have or couldn't find real quick a gemstone pendant in a leaf. Although I had 3 bargain bead box bags out. Another one had red jasper, but it also didn't have leaves. And another one had autumn jasper, and it also didn't have leaves. I was looking for something that had leaves in it. The closest I got was the mookaite with feathers. So these are all mookaite beads, 6 millimeter rounds. And so I just did little dangles, 1, 2, and 3. They're loose dangles, and these want to hang a little weird, those 2. So I just alternated. Now these ones in the front, sorry about that. I had set an alarm on my phone and took my phone downstairs, and the alarm was going off. And my son is asleep. I don't want to wake him up. Anyway, these little crystal bicones in metallic gold are from the box. These tiny little braided spacer beads are from the box. Everything's from the box except the beading wire, which is Self-Flex. I had this pack from Pantone Colors. that I think I got as a prize, and it was color Garnet. It's a really dark, I can't get it out, dark red, like that. You've seen beading wire, right? 49 strand, 0.019. I also used their crimp tubes in the variety pack that had gold. And I did use a lobster claw clasp. That was from BB Craft, as was the extender chain. And I just put a little same drop as on the front. And I did use wire guardians on this one. This is about an 18-inch, or maybe, yeah, I think it's 16 extendable to 18. I could be wrong. It might be 18 extendable to 20. I can't remember at this very moment in time. I have it all written down though. So then I made a bracelet, of course, to go with it. This is what it looks like. I used one of the 10mm Mookaite large beads. Then I used the 4 nugget Mookites. And then these are the sesame jasper rounds. I only used 2 of the gold bead caps here because I saved them for some other projects. And I again used the gold bicones in between. And this was the toggle clasp I had left from the kit. It has a like a butterfly. They just called it embellished, but it actually is a butterfly. Wow. Still not going to be able to see it. There we go, sort of. So I think that came out really pretty. This is a 7-inch bracelet. I brought it. I measured on my bead board because, there, see? 7-inch. Maybe it would be a really snug 7 1/4, so I'll say 7-inch. I'll stick with that. So I think that came out beautifully. And I made another bracelet. Actually, I probably shouldn't have shown this just yet. This one is actually 6 3/4, which I can't fit on the board. I can, because it doesn't have that slot. It has a 6 1/2, and I can show you that it's a little bit bigger than that. I can fit it on me, and I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. That's why I know that. These came curved. I actually might put it on my form and hammer it gently a little more and bend it just a little more. This is from my stash, this toggle clasp, but it's also from Bead Box Bargains. I had a pack of like 5 of them or something. And I just used 6 more of the sesame jasper. I brought in the bisque shimmer crystals from the kit, the box, and I used more of these little braided spacers. Now, the thing about those spacers is I have about 10 of them left. I have to ream them all out, and some of them I was having trouble reaming. There was like black stuff in, and I couldn't get, not only beading wire, but I couldn't get head pins or eye pins through them. So anyway, I just, this one I did not use wire guardians. I didn't think it needed it, and it would be here and here. So yeah, that one is 6 3/4 inch. All right, then I have some earrings, of course. These are the first pair I made. They're all going to be on lever backs, but this pair is on plain lever backs that were from Beadalon. Actually, I had a pack of 3, which I bought at Jesse James Beads some time ago. So these just have the 10mm Mookaite and the 6mm Mookaite, but I used 2 different shades of it. The bead caps, the tiny little spacers, and I just wire wrap them on the lever backs. And then I brought in the feathers, again on those same lever backs. And the Mookaite, the braided spacers, and the poppy jasper from my stash. I think they're really cute, because not everybody likes them really long and dangly, but of course I made some long and dangly. If I can get my fingers around them. These have the sesame jasper with a bead cap, and then the Mookaite leaf dangles, just like these, with the Mookaite oh, I just noticed I put one right side up and one upside down, but I'm going to leave it like that. I think that's kind of cool. The leaves, like falling leaves, they don't all fall the same direction, right? Yeah, silly me. I have a tendency to do stuff like this, like put them this direction. Even though they're supposed to be like drops falling or so, like, and raindrops, which are supposed to be like that, I always seem to put this way. I don't know, it's just weird. And these have a tiny little seed bead on the top from a fall mix that I have, and that's because the wire up against these bead caps, I didn't like that. They were slip sliding around too much, and so yeah, both dangles are wire wrapped. And then this is actually the last thing I think I made, but it goes with this necklace. Now these are not on those same lever backs because those were the only 3 in the box from Beadalon, the little packet. And I thought, well, I didn't use the turbine things in an earring, so here's the turbines with, instead of having just the gold bicones around it, I have the braided spacer at the bottom, which I had to ream to use. The gold bicones here and the gold bicones here instead of mookaite with the leaves, because I didn't have, at this point, this was the last thing I made, and I didn't have any more matching 6mm mookaite. They're all different, and for earrings I like them to match, so I just use the gold. I think they're pretty. And those are gold plated brass lever backs with a shell design from Fire Mountain. Okay, so then I wanted to do, there were a lot of chips in the box, and I wanted to do something with the chips. So I decided to make a cluster necklace, and I just took a piece of soft flex craft wire, gold silver plated, it's 20 gauge, and I used about 6 inches, and I used it all. And what I did, oh, if you've ever done like I do and buy silly, is that a word? I don't know. I was silly when I was first starting. I didn't know any better. I bought 1-inch head pins, and I hardly ever use them, but they're perfect to put little chips on and cluster them. So these are 2 of the 10mm mookaite, and you can see they're like cream on one side and mustard here and dark red there. And then I use some of the chips as well as some of the bisque shimmer crystals and just a couple, 3 I think, yeah, 3 of the yellow, I forget the color they called it, but it's a bright yellow shimmery crystal as well. And a whole bunch, I think like 14 or 15 or something of the chips. So all I did is I wire wrapped the one end, but I hooked the chain on first. I didn't measure it as of that point. I had all like 39 inches hanging there, 35 inches. We're supposed to get, I might use some of the chain too, because we're supposed to get a meter, which is 39 inches, and I only had 35. I probably used 4 inches on something. And then I had laid these out, and I just started stacking them up the way I thought, and I kind of moved stuff around so that, well, except I got 2 crystals right next to each other there, but I tried not to get 2 of the same color crystals next to each other. I did there too, but they shift around a little bit, but I think it looks really pretty. And then I just then I decided how much more I would need to make an 18-inch necklace, which is what this is. And I cut the chain, and then I had a piece for over here. Before I closed that, I wire wrapped the other side right on. Just used a BB Craft gold finish lobster claw and an open, I think I used both open jump rings on that. Yeah, and those were from Bead Box Bargains. So I didn't put an extender on that one. I don't think it would look right too much longer than 18-inch. And I did make a pair of earrings to go with that. These are clusters also. I think I have to fix this though. No, I have it right. It just got twisted. These are one-sided little drops with a feather design, but they're not too bad on the back. They're a polished finish. Anyway, I just have an eye pin here, 2-inch 21 gauge, and I did the same concept, but I only used like 7 chip beads per earring and 3 of the bisque shimmer crystals. And then you can see these mookaite, these sort of match, but the bottom two, the color ones, I didn't have any matchy-matchy. So one's more of a tan and one's more of a purpley pink. But it's okay because the chips are all different colors too. I tried to get some in each of the colors, like the gold, red. There's a white one in here somewhere. There's some tan. Yeah, so I tried to get a good mix, and that one's twisting now. There we go. So those are the earrings that go with that one, and they're on those lever backs with shells. And then the last two pieces, there was this feather, not leaf, in the box, and bargain bead box, October 2021. I'm like way behind here, right? I do have some from 2022 also that I will be using soon. Anyway, these are 4 out of the 5 mookaite beads I had left, so I used the 2 yellowy looking ones, yellow and cream, mustard and cream, to go with the pendant. Now I noticed other people, I did watch a few other videos, and other people got ones with more of the red in or more purple in them. Mine is more just all the mustard and cream, which I'm fine with. I had these 2 mustardy shaped beads, and I just did, I just put them on eye pins and did simple loops, and then connected them with jump rings, 6mm jump rings, and I did bring in a closed jump ring here. I didn't have any jump rings, open jump rings. I had them big enough, but they were too wide. They were like 18 gauge, wouldn't fit through the hole in the pendant. So I used that 20 gauge craft wire, and it just took like I think about a 4-inch piece, and did a sort of a sloppy wire wrap. Then these are the sesame jasper with the bisque shimmer crystals, and I just did a bunch of links and used 2 more of the closed rings and hooked the chain on with the open rings. And then in the back I used that same toggle like I did on this bracelet with the feather. So that bracelet can actually go with this because it's feather themed. And I did put one little feather charm over here on the same jump ring that the toggle clasp is hooked onto, and I love that one actually. I think it came out really pretty. Love the color mix in it, and that is 18-inch also. The chain is about 3 inches each because it added about 3.5 or 4 by the time I got the toggle clasp on, and this, I think, anyway, it worked out just right to be 18. And then the last thing is I use lever backs with little flowers on. I made these before I made the ones with the shell earrings, and I brought out the wrong bag when I made these 2. I was going to use the same ones, but it's okay. I kind of like the shell look because it's not an in-your-face shell kind of thing. These are feather charms from the kit. These are some of the last 6mm mookaite. I do still have some, but I just used the white and cream, and then sort of the red-ish, red and tan, a little bit different shades of red and tan, and some of the braided spacers between. Just put them on an eye pin. I did use a jump ring to make the feathers hang properly, and these are double-sided. They're nice little feathers. I really like them. They're not too long, and they're really not too heavy either, and they go nicely with this or with this bracelet. So that's my October 2021 bargain bead box used in September 2023 to make jewelry for the Jewelry Making Fun collab autumn colors. And I think I maybe don't have too much orange, but I've got topaz, I've got yellows, I've got reds, sort of reddish brown, I've got tans, you know, so I've got the colors of autumn, I think. So that's it for today. Let me know what you liked. what your favorite piece or pieces are. Would you wear these? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, I just did on my live sale on the 16th, I did fall and Halloween items. Obviously, these aren't priced yet because I just made them yesterday and this morning when I'm doing this video on the 18th. Yeah, so they're not priced yet. They will probably go up in my Etsy shop starting around October 1st or soon thereafter, if anybody's interested. Unless I get them priced in time for the final live sale, which will be on the 30th. This coming Saturday, it's going to be Christmas and winter themed, okay? So, but I am going to be making more fall themed items because A, I love the colors, and B, I have a lot of beads in my stash and in bargain bead boxes that are great for autumn that I haven't used yet. I'm trying to use them up because I am starting bargain bead box again in November. So that'll probably be, I'm guessing, a holiday box or something. I don't know. You never know what you're going to get. All right, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful day. Be sure to check everyone else out down below. Follow along to the links and see what all those lovely, talented people have made. Okay? Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. Hugs, love, and peace.